Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Careless Podcast. I'm really glad you're here with me today, and thanks for pressing play and giving yourself a few minutes of space to level up. So, today we're talking about something I think a lot of us forget, that you are the main character in your own story. I actually, you guys, wanted to record this episode for the longest time ever, but me myself, I was not feeling like I was living my life as the main character. So I was just like, okay, let's wait until I start to do that again and I actually start to work on myself. And here I am, you guys, helping you guys out, and I'm gonna tell you things through this episode that actually helped me a lot. And I don't want you to think that just because you do those rituals that it will change in one day. It is not how it works. It will take some time, maybe 1 month, maybe 3 weeks, I don't know, it depends if you actually practice this every single day. Anywho, not in an arrogant way, but in the sense that your life matters, your choices matter, and you get to decide how you want to show up. Sometimes we drift into the background in our own lives and we just go through the motions, take care of everyone else, and kind of forget that this is our life as well, and this is our movie that we were living in. So let's slow down today and talk about how to step back into the main character role. First, let's talk about the story you tell yourself. We all carry a story in our heads. And sometimes it can sound like I am behind or I'm not enough. And honestly, that story can weigh us down a lot. But the good news is you can actually change it. One simple way to start is with mirror talk. Each morning, stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself in the eye, and say one sentence you want to believe about yourself. Something like, I'm learning and growing every day, or I deserve to be here. It feels awkward at first, but the more you say it, the more your brain starts to accept it. That's how you start rewriting your narrative, by telling yourself a new one. Also, you can basically just gaslight yourself, because I learned this from TikTok. Actually, it was a lady talking about that our brain doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy. So that's why when we tell ourselves, we're constantly telling ourselves that we are pretty, that we deserve better, or that we are magnetic, we only have positive energy around us, we only attract positive people into our lives, those things that we tell ourselves actually start to happen, so we start to seeing ourselves, so we start to view ourselves in a more beautiful way and to attract more positive people into our lives, because our brain doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy. I think now that you know that, it is just amazing, because now you can just gaslight yourself into believing something that you think you are not. So if you're telling yourself every single morning, I am powerful, I am confident, you actually become confident. Now, being the main character isn't about being perfect, okay? It's about showing up in your own life with intention. Think of it like this. Every movie has an opening scene. Your morning is your opening scene. If you start rushed, chaotic, and stressed, that energy often spills into the rest of the day. That's why I love, the ritual of creating a morning aesthetic. You don't need to create your morning aesthetic based on somebody else's aesthetic, or like trying to be somebody else. Just try your own aesthetic, create your own aesthetic, and do things that make you feel energetic and with a good mood in the morning. So it doesn't have to be fancy. It could be playing one song that makes you feel powerful, making your coffee in the way that feels intentional, or lighting a candle while you get ready. It's about setting the tone of your day, so you remind yourself, I am in control of the vibe here. I am the main character and I am in a good mood. I am happy. Next up, confidence. Confidence doesn't mean you never feel insecure, okay? It just means you keep showing up even when you are unsure. But here's the problem. A lot of times we lose confidence because we let other people's energy spill into our space. That's why the ritual of protector energy is so important. This is about mentally setting boundaries, okay? You can picture a bubble around you, or even just remind yourself that that's not mine to carry. You know, when you protect your energy, you stop shrinking yourself for other people. You get to walk in your own strength, and that right there is what confidence is built on. When the first time I actually created this imaginary bubble where I put all the things that I will not, like all the boundaries. Basically, what did I do? I wrote on a paper all the things that I hate, okay, and my boundaries. I wrote on a paper. I draw a bubble, and in the bubble, I wrote my boundaries, and outside of the bubble, I wrote every single thing that people will do towards me that will, that will make me feel bad, that will cross my boundaries. I did that, and every time, like now that somebody crosses the line, the only thing that I do is I just cut them off without even explaining myself. Because every time I tried to explain myself, they didn't want to listen. So like, what is the point of me trying to to explain to you? You don't want to listen to me, and you're telling me that I'm too dramatic, that I'm overreacting. So what do? Usually, it depends. If I actually like that person, I will tell them, for this reason and that reason, I already told you from the start to not talk about this topic with me, and you did it. You did it anyway. So I just don't want to have any contact with you. This actually hurted me. But if you are the type of person that wants to, I don't know, embarrass me in front of people or cross the line just to feel like you're the bigger person in the place, I would just cut you off without you even realizing it. So I might just ignore you when you're talking to me, or like even respond to you, even talk to you and respond to you very like dry and stuff. This is just literally how I do it, but you can find a way that works for you the best to cut off people, whether it's just blocking, talking to them, writing on a paper why you don't want to talk to them anymore, and just all those things. Of course, I will not get mad at them or start to argue or hate them or talk shit about them. No, I will just cut them off like they never existed in my life. And this is what actually makes me live in peace. Anywho, you guys, finally, let's talk about mood. Your mood is actually the filter you look through. If you are in a bad mood, the whole day feels heavier. If you are in a good mood, even problems don't seem so big. One way to, shift your mood is through a walk with the background noise. Put on a music, a podcast, or even nature sounds and just walk. It doesn't have to be long, even 10 minutes helps. Walking moves stuck energy, and having something in your ears help redirect your thoughts away from the spiral. It's such a simple but powerful reset. I love doing that, honestly, and I feel like it helps me a lot. Also, one thing that I'm trying to do is to just go on a walk without my headphones. Just go on a walk without listening to anything, so I can actually reconnect with, the nature. And why am I talking like that? I'm just like, the nature? I don't know. Just to reconnect with, the trees and leaves and whatever. I don't know. The birds, the animals that maybe I will see in the forest. I don't know. I just think it is so beautiful and peaceful. So, start rewriting your story with the mirror talk. Step into your role as the main character with a morning aesthetic. Reclaim your confidence with protector energy, and take care of your mood with a simple walk and some background noise, or just do something in the morning that will actually boost your mood. And here's my one question for you. Which one of these 4 rituals are you doing to try this week? Are you going to try this week? Pick one, just one. Start with only one ritual, okay? And see how it shifts the way you feel. That's for today's episode. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Remember, this is your story and you are the main character. If this episode gave you something to think about, share with a friend who might need it as well. And don't forget to follow the podcast so you don't miss the next one. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. As always, Stay careless, but never careless with your energy. Thank you so much, and see you the next episode. I'm so happy that I talked to you. I love you a lot. Mwah.